Hey everyone, welcome back to the JumpCut Online YouTube channel. My name is Sam, I'm the editor-in-chief over at JumpCut Play, and today I'm joined by staff writer Rhys to talk about a subject close to our hearts. That subject's family. We're talking about Fast and Furious, because today Vin Diesel has said that Fast and Furious 10, parts 1 and 2, will be shooting in July. And I wanted to get my main man Rhys on here, because you saw it last week, as we did, on launch day, and safe to say, your thoughts were mixed, putting it politely.
Yeah, I mean, mixed is probably a good word for it, because there were a few things I actually did like about it.
Yeah.
But as it was going on, I actually said to myself at one point, I absolutely hate this. So it was a descent into just hatred for me, the last one.
Even though you hated it, would you watch another 2 of them?
That's the worst thing, is I know I will. I know I'll be there the first day, because I've to be fair, I'm quite late to this franchise in that I saw probably the first 6 or even 7, like months after the fact. Like I never saw the Fast and Furious in the cinema when it came out. I saw 2 Fast and Furious probably on ITV2, back in the day. I only saw Tokyo Drift literally last week in preparation for this. And then Fast and Furious 8, or The Fate of the Furious, was the first one I'd seen in the cinema.
Oh man.
I know, but then I've seen that one. I saw Hobbs and Shaw, and I've seen this in the cinema as well. So
I've not seen all of them in the cinema. I've seen Fast 5 through to the new one, including Hobbs and Shaw in the cinema, but none of the others. All the others I watched at home on DVD. I actually remember the first one being a big deal when it came out, because it was one of the first DVDs my parents rented that I can remember them renting. And at the time it was all the coolest films ever, but watching it now, it's a film. It exists.
Yeah, it is a film that exists. And the one thing I do appreciate about the whole franchise is how you can go from that first film to where we are now. And it's not like a million miles away from each other. Like, it does feel like quite a natural progression into the ridiculous realm that it is now. Like, it doesn't feel super kind of disconnected anymore,
Well, that's one of the things that I just wanted to touch upon while we're talking about it, because I always see people say, oh, I don't get it. They used to, be normal dudes and now they're spies. But, I don't know, man. The first film, they're stealing DVD players and doing mad stunts, and there's Korean gangsters and stuff involved. So I don't think a progression, all the way to the absolute nonsense that it is now, you say, is that far off.
Well, it's Brian starts off as an undercover cop. So, I mean, they've still got that ties into the crime world. It's just, yes, now we've got into the more Mission Impossible James Bond realm. But it's, it's a natural progression for the franchise for me. And I think that my biggest issue is not that I don't believe that they're all spies. That's not the issue that I have with, Fast 9.
Fast 9. Oh my god. Where do you even start with? I guess what we'll do, we'll just recap it quickly then. So, spoiler warning going ahead for the rest of the video if you've not seen it. So, Fast 9, we continue after the events of Fate of the Furious. Dom and a quote-unquote retired, get pulled into a big mission with Dominic Toretto's never-mentioned-before brother, who now appears and is played by John Cena. Lots of spy stuff ensues, and Charlize Theron appears as Cypher again, and I guess they're touting her to be a kind of a big James Bond villain that they're going to have to face off against in some proper capacity in the next 2 films. And at the end of the film, they're all kind of teamed up. The characters from Tokyo Drift are now genius scientists, even though 3 films ago, if you want to speak about it in chronological order, they're supposed to be 19 years old. But that's somewhere else to be discussed.
Although,
so
to be fair, that is in real time. That's 8 years ago, because the events of Fast 6, or when you see kind of Han, are in 2013 canonically. So there is at least a jump in time to think, in those 8 years, maybe they have developed, a penchant for rockets, I guess.
Well, it's not even that, Lucas Black, who plays the main guy in Tokyo Drift, Sean Boswell, he's a 40-year-old, 19-year-old in that film.
And how he must be now a 60-year-old, 20-year-old, so...
what is that scene in Fury 7 where they showed a footage from Tokyo Drift and then they cut to like a new clip and he's like aged considerably between that footage. But yeah, at the end of Fast 9, there's like a big Avengers style team formed and Cypher's going to do something evil, I guess, in the next film. And then we also have a tease that Han is gone to visit Deckard Shaw, played by Jason Statham. And like I said before we started recording, I have no idea where these films go. We've been to space.
Yeah,
We've seen Dominic Toretto pull an entire building down with his bare arms.
After he did it with his feet like 2 films ago. It's just the natural order.
The street always wins.
It does.
I have no clue where to go. Like, there's no more stupid suggestions, I guess. Like, people have like said you could cross it over with the Jurassic Park franchise, or you could cross it over with Transformers. Like, out of the two, Transformers seems more logical and the one I would watch. But I guess in terms of the franchise, where do you think this ends?
Well, I'm very suspicious of the fact that it's going to end in 2 films' time. Because you told me the other day that there's already a Dominic Toretto solo film happening. So I mean,
apparently so.
So
a prequel film about it.
So I think this franchise is going to live way beyond whenever Fast 10 ends with this supposed 2-parter thing. But then it was funny how you summarised Fast 9 earlier and you barely mentioned they went to space, which I guess summarises the importance of going to space in Fast 9, I guess.
It just kind of happens.
It does.
It's just something that happens. Like, it's funny at the time, but it's not really, I don't know, that crucial. I mean, I guess it isn't into the plot of the film and they need Roman and Tej to destroy that satellite, but in the grand scale of everything that happens in that film, I don't know, it's weird. Like, it's not even the wackiest thing that happens in it.
No, it's not. And it's, it's also bizarre how quickly they decide you've got to go to space. And it's just, it literally is one scene, and the next scene they're on the back of a spaceship. Like, literally, without any hesitation. I'm thinking, this is where they lost me at that point.
I just think it's weird how, like, they go to visit them early in the film, barely say a word to them apart from Dominic Toretto centers, and that's it. And then, like you say, the next thing it's like, oh yeah, we're going to space, we've already prepared this car for you, let's go. It's so odd.
It is so odd. And I mean, I'm glad they did go to space because it felt like the next logical step for this franchise and where it has been going.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think, personally, of the ones that have been kind of like rumoured, I'd be most interested to see a Jurassic World crossover because I think the idea of Dominic Toretto trying to take out a T-Rex with his Dodge Charger is really funny. And I'm sure I've seen people actually talking that could be a crossover thing. Whether it happens or not, I would be severely doubtful. But I've said this for a while. I'm sure you know where we're about to go here, Sam.
Do it.
I mean, one of my favourite, if not my favourite film of all time, deals with time travel specifically by using a very fast car. And I mean, to me, there was also a very, very blatant kind of Back to the Future homage in Fast 9, where they made a banger Pontiac Fiero into a spaceship. And someone even says the line that says, like, you made a spaceship out of a Pontiac Fiero, which is the exact same line as, you made a time travel machine out of a DeLorean? Like, it's the exact same concept. So I think for me, the natural next evolution is for us to go back in time. I think we've got to. I think that's what happens next because we've already got in Fast 9. They've already got those ridiculous electromagnetic magnets that just appeared out of nowhere and they can pull cars out of thin air. Like, we're already into full hardcore sci-fi. Why not go through time? And there's like a few things I saw kind of in the first one. There's a shot in when they're having a race when they only just clear like a massive kind of 18-wheeler truck when they drive, like having a race or something, and they just about clear it. And I'm thinking, in Fast 10, do a time travel, what if they go back in time and they accidentally, stop the race, which means that they're too late getting to that point, which means that the 18-wheeler hits them and they kill like Dom and Brian in the past or whatever. And that's a bit dodgy, you know what I mean?
Oh God.
But then they have then got to kind of like go like fix their error and like try and get them back. And I don't know, I think there's a solid concept there, but I think they've got to go back and figure out kind of maybe stopping Cypher from where she began or something. But for me, that's where it should go next. Don't care about Transformers.
Time travel.
Jurassic World, nah. Time travel for me is where they should definitely go.
See, for me, I'm thinking, like I said it earlier in the jump chat, they need to do an Infinity War style, like Endgame 2-parter. We need to have like fast, like 10-part 1 to be like crushing defeat, many lows for a lot of the characters. You know, really got to demolish hope for audiences watching it. Maybe, I don't know, it's happened like 4 times in the past like couple of films where they teased him as dead, and it's like, he's not dead. He's not dead. Like, he gets crushed by a parking garage and he doesn't die.
I know. He had an entire building that he brought down himself collapse on him in the last film, and he was pulled out by Letty without any scratches on him.
Yeah, he crushed an entire building by pulling it down, had a Man of Steel flashback moment,
He did.
and survived.
Kal-El. But Jor-El spoke to him. I thought, Dom, you are ready for this.
Dominic, no.
Dom-El, no.
So for me, I think they need to do like that style movie, and then you have the Endgame, like Fast 10 Part 2, and you have all the heroes from all the Fast and Furious movies out, like Portals. You have them all arrive. Like, I don't know, they're probably going to bring Brian back at some point. 'Cause they teased it at the end of this one that he may arrive in some capacity. Like CGI, Paul Walker arrives in his like Nissan Skyline, is like, on your left, Dom, and then they race together towards Cypher, who's also in like a car. It can be like Mad Max, it can be like Fury Road, like big destruction. It can be like Destruction All Stars, the film.
Oh mate, you sold me.
That's where we're going.
That's the one.
That's like, you could combine the two ideas. You could have them like time travel and they go in an alternative dimension where street racing has evolved into Destruction All Stars.
That's what you need. Like, I think there is definitely legs in like a time travel combination with Endgame, because it does feel like, I'm concerned that most major franchises will end in the same way as Endgame does now. Like, I feel like Endgame has just finished major climaxes to franchises. But I can see it. I can see a massive kind of team up to take down Cypher once and for all as the end of it. But like I just don't know how they can go further than space unless they go back in time. That's the thing for me.
Yeah, like silly ideas that I literally have no idea story-wise or concept-wise what they're going to do for the next 2 films. Like, you kind of had an idea with the other 2, like Fast 5, it's a heist. I guess the next one it'll be like a spy movie or whatever. And then the 7th one, like, is a revenge film. But now, because they've gone so far out of the box, I've got no idea what they can do. Like, obviously John Cena will come back because he like rides off into the sunset at the end.
I mean, I
just want a team-up shot with John Cena, The Rock, and Statham. That's what I want.
That's what I would actually like to see. We'd get Han in there as well, because I like Han. Han is probably one of the only good characters they've got left.
You got that little Bow Wow?
Oh, to be fair, I was really chuffed that he turned up, actually. I was like, I was glad that I had that small payoff. That, oh my god, it's actual little Bow Wow.
The only guy, according to Mr. Sunday Movies, that knows he's in the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, because he looks to the camera, yeah. But I was going to say, we've seen in the news literally this week that the boy Vin wants to do, or would do, a Fast and Furious musical. That is a thing that he said.
Oh.
So, I mean, could part 1 be a massive Sound of Music ode? And then part 2
imagine?
Into whatever. I don't want to see Vin Diesel singing ever. Because I've heard him sing that one song, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
All I'm saying is that if they go musical, imagine like the opening of La La Land and the overpass, but it's all street racing cars and Vin Diesel.
Feel like I do. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man, he can do an album.
He could.
Film.
He literally could do an entire Fast and Furious album.
I'd buy it.
I know you would. You definitely would.
Of course, I watched Bloodshot and gave it a positive review.
So did I. I also gave it a positive review. I gave it 3 stars.
We're just Vin Diesel stands at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that. My main complaint about Fast and Furious 9 is that they had John Cena and they had to make him be less charismatic than Vin Diesel, who is not charismatic at all. So they've wasted a really talented, funny actor just because Vin Diesel is not very good at his job. I'm so sorry. But
hey, he gave acting lessons to The Rock.
I know!
We found that out as well.
The man who exudes charisma, The Rock, was being taught lessons by Vin Diesel. Oh, God.
I guess my final point that I just want to mention about Vin Diesel before we go is just I love how over all of these films he treats it like he's making absolute art cinema.
He does.
I love it. That's what makes these films, because he's taking it so seriously, and everybody else around him is like, yeah, we're just here for the money.
Yeah, we're here for the silliness and the paycheck, but he is like, this is my magnum opus. Every single one, he's like, this is the most important thing.
He said to Cameron, friend of JumpCut Online, he said to him on an interview that he wants Fast 10 to be the best sequel movie ever made.
Didn't he say the same thing about Fast 9? He said he wanted this one to be the best film ever made.
Well, he said he wanted to be the best film ever made, but he's specified to Cameron that he wants this to be the sequel film ever made. Even though Fast 9 is a sequel, but
they're all sequels, mate, at this point.
This is the best sequel film ever made. That's just something to bear in mind.
Really harsh on the makers of films 2 through 9. But I mean, fair play.
Oh dear. Before we go then, is there anything you want to plug to the viewers?
I mean, yeah, I'm still kind of churning out content over at jumpcutonline.co.uk, various film reviews, and I'm also one for the kind of whole site. I'm also in the latest edition of JumpCut magazine, where I interviewed the showrunner of Invincible, which is for me still the best show I've seen on TV this year, which was a very cool opportunity for me. And that magazine is on our Patreon, which you can get for £3, along with every single other magazine we've ever released, which is just a bargain. Nice. So if you could check those out, that would be excellent. Thank you very much for having me, Sam. Enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, it's been great. And again, just plug in the Patreon. Like Rhys said, you can get all the magazine on there, early access to videos like this, and loads of other cool stuff. So definitely go and check it out. But I guess we'll be back again soon talking nonsense on some more film, no doubt. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.